Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the DeFi Enthusiast here. Welcome to the channel, guys. And today I've got Yudi from an amazing upcoming project. It's called Brains DAO. And the blockchain space has been really growing a lot in recent years. There are so many things that have been coming out, that has gone beyond DeFi. And today we're going to be talking to Yudi about his unique project, what makes Brains DAO interesting. Yudi, over to you, man. It's so nice to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here to talk about Web3 and also the amazing things we actually building in Brains DAO. So it's actually a pleasure and also a privilege to be on your channel to talk about this.
I don't know. The pleasure is all mine, my friend. So tell the viewers, man, what exactly is Brains DAO? What are you guys doing? What's the concept behind it?
Okay, so before I dive into the fundamentals of Brains DAO, I really want to talk about how the conception began. Personally, since I'm the founder of Brains DAO, I came into the space barely because I was fed up with the system. What I mean by the system is basically the 9 to 5. You have to wake up in the morning and the next thing you think about is to go to work, and you stay for many hours working, coming back, and still you can't be able to, you're missing your family, and many other things cannot be achieved because you are putting a lot of work to please your master, your boss, and things like that. So I was fed up with the system, and I got to know about cryptocurrency. That was middle and late 2018. And the thing about cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, actually captured my interest. And I was like, wow, so we have such a technology existing that people can invest, and also in a couple of years, people can actually make something tangible from it. So I went into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in 2018. Although 2018 was actually a very rough year, it was the bear market. 2019, not until 2021 that things started getting better for the crypto assets. And by 2019 and 2020, I started developing interest not just for the buying and selling, rather for the knowledge of it, the technology, what the technology can do. And also for me, who is coming from Africa, and I have a lot of people back home who actually do not have knowledge about cryptocurrency or what blockchain can actually do. And in the area of cross-border payments, if you are in some countries in Africa, you come to see that receiving money from your relatives or your family members that in America or in Europe is actually very difficult. We have the banks, but sometimes you need to stand in a long queue, and sometimes this money takes days for you to receive this money. But cryptocurrency takes away the third party, which are the banks, and actually make me to transact money with you, which is peer-to-peer, removing the third party, and you can actually receive this money in a matter of seconds. So that idea, that technology was actually fascinating, and it was what drove me into Web3. And also, I said, if I know this, then many people should know about it. Many people should get out of the system. Basically, not immediately, but the knowledge of blockchain can change anybody's life. So that was the concept. That was the idea that drove me into building Brains DAO. And Brains DAO started in 2022, where we started building it as a read-to-earn platform where people can read our courses, indulge, participate in some of our quizzes and things like that. We launched our token, but we have revamped the whole system, and right now we see that a lot of young persons are actually interested in blockchain, and we really want to take so much power away from us. That is why currently we are building what is called Create2Earn. So we are now bringing the content creators who are actually going to make content, write articles, blockchain, and also write about courses. So these content creators will be on our platform to write these articles for their communities. And also this way, we are also going to put out what we call the sharing revenue, whereby from the content creators creating contents and from the taxes and also the generation of revenue we make on the platform, we share among the content creators and also our holder. So Brains DAO is simply a Create2Earn EduFi platform where we are now empowering the content creators and also the non-crypto people to be onboarded into blockchain. So that is what we are currently building right now. And very soon, we are going to put out our presales, which is going to be a native token of 100 million in supply, maximum, no minting, just total supply of 100 million token. And it's actually very, very limited. And also it has a lot of features like the auto bond mechanism, deflationary mechanism, and reward to the holders, and sharing revenue to the content creators. So we are now focusing on the non-crypto people. Basically, we now put the power to other persons to help us to achieve the dream of bringing more persons into blockchain. Recently, the world has been able to pass 8 billion people. And when you look at the global population of over 8 billion people and look at the population of people knowing about cryptocurrency, we are still very, very early. So the last time I checked the statistics, about 1 million people or thereabout are actually actively on Web3. So you still see that we still need a lot of work for many persons to be onboarded here. By the time we have probably half of the global population on Web3 or blockchain as a whole, that is when we are going to feel the real adoption. And with this, Brains DAO is actually setting themselves up as a platform to achieve this by onboarding the next billion people into blockchain. So that is what we are doing right now with the platform.
Okay, very, very, very fascinating. That's quite a bit of stuff that you've covered here, and I think we'll kind of break down a few things, from here. So one thing that you have mentioned is that Brains DAO is going to bring people from Web 2 to Web 3. I mean, that is the goal, right? But my question is, as we both know, there's been one of the biggest, biggest news of this year is that we finally have a Bitcoin spot ETF, right? Now, for those who don't know what an ETF is, it basically allows people to not even have an asset, but they can track the price and own that whatever paper version of whatever that asset is, right? So when you have things like that also means that there's going to be a select number of people that will probably never bother about setting up a crypto wallet now. I mean, this is just one angle of looking at it. Of course, I genuinely believe that we're going to see an influx of money coming into the markets, a lot more money coming into the markets. But I also believe that there's going to be a huge portion, of people that I feel that could have come into the space that won't even bother, because now they can just track the price of that asset, that particular asset, right? And they don't even have to own that asset. They don't even have to set up a wallet, right? They can just, talk to their financial advisor, and that's about that. So how do you plan to bring those people from Web 2 to Web 3, who don't even know how to set up a wallet, right? That's number one. Number two is, I believe you guys are, from what I've gathered, is that Brains DAO is all about the education fi. I think that's the niche that you guys are in, right? EduFi, education fi, if I'm not mistaken, and the Create2Earn, right? So how do you, so my main question is, how do you plan to bring these people on board? Those who are, who may not even need to hold crypto anymore, and they can just track the price of the asset.
Okay, so first of all, everyone is happy about Bitcoin ETF. I'm one of the people who are proponents for Bitcoin ETF because it's going to bring institutional adoption of it. However, cryptocurrency is not basically about Bitcoin. The industry is so large. 5 years ago, we did not have NFT, we did not have the GameFi, and we already seen the social fi, the craze of social fi right now. So there are going to be a lot of more people coming into the space, and we are going to see more innovations. And of course, we will continue to have content creators. Do not forget that we have shifted our focus more from the read to earn, now giving the content creators the platform for them to communicate and engage their community. And whatever they do by putting it on the platform, they are also going to earn from the revenue of actively engaging their community with the innovative ways that blockchain has been able to touch many areas. Now, yesterday, I was talking to someone, I saw a project that has to do with real estate. So we now have part of a blockchain that has to do with real estate. And maybe this industry attention might move to real estate, whereby real estate can be tokenized. So that is another part that blockchain is actually doing. And we already have the social fi right now. The GameFi sector is also booming. We have the NFTs also booming. We don't know what next. So the blockchain industry will continue to innovate, will continue to evolve. And this, we still need content creators to be able to engage their community talking about this sector. And however, like you're talking about the ETF. ETF is just one part, Bitcoin is just one part. And of course, under Bitcoin, we still have the ordinals. We still have many things that can be built under Bitcoin network, not just Bitcoin as a whole. So with this, we're still going to have people who will put out content, create articles, create courses, engage people who wants to learn. Although people might be tracking the price of Bitcoin, we still want people to be in this industry to build, to be able to onboard more persons. Like I said, we are not even up to 10% of the global population on blockchain yet. And we are now projecting by 2030 or 2050, we're supposed to have 50% of the global population on blockchain. So there's still room to build, there's still room to onboard. Then education is not something that can actually stop. Education continues to, to look for new innovative ways to make people to continue to learn, because every day people are being born into the world. So it's not something that you're going to stop somewhere because everybody, no. Since we still have many persons coming in, there's always going to be a room, and knowledge, human as a whole continue to look for new ways to do things. So probably blockchain will continue to evolve, continue to add new things, and which will continue to grow from there. So I still believe that even if we have the Bitcoin ETF, it's just one sector. There are many sectors that are building on blockchain. We continue to touch that, inviting content creators on the platform.
Okay, excellent. No, I completely understand that. It's just that because the baby boomer generation generally, they kind of sort of avoid entering the crypto space, right? So for them, something like an ETF, from the most popular cryptocurrency, and now second one, which I believe is going to be coming up soon, is going to be Ethereum. I think that for them is kind of like a convenient thing. But so of course, away from baby boomers, if we focus on Generation Z, millennials, so on and so forth, I do believe that they definitely can be onboarded. But that also then brings me to my next question as well. I mean, we've seen the traditional educational systems kind of, how should I say, they're flawed, right? If we're honest, because you go through your 12 years of schooling, then you go to for your bachelor's, and you go for your master's, and blah 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 blah. And basically you spend a lot of money, to achieve those things, right? You would know that. I know this. I know there's a huge emphasis on people getting degrees. I also think I could be wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think, in Africa, that's very, very, that's really prevalent. It's also prevalent in places like, China, China and Pakistan and India and all these places, like where education is like, without a degree, you're kind of useless, although there's so many avenues now to make money, right? So my question is, because, a lot of people, they pay a lot of money, they go to university, right? And then they're still working jobs that they're not happy with. A lot of them are still unemployed. There's a huge problem, when people get out of universities. Now, I agree with you that education cannot be stopped. So how is Brains DAO going to change the educational landscape, right? What are you guys planning to do, and what type of courses are you planning to offer on Brains DAO?
Okay, so that's the metrics we are talking about. I got out from the metrics. I got out from this system, and so I've gone through all stages of school. I went to university. I've graduated, but in all of these stages, whether it is in the high school or whether it's also in the college, they don't talk about money. They don't teach you about money. They don't teach you how to handle money. But you come to Web3, you understand the concept of money. You understand inflation better. You understand that you need to invest into a system that cannot be printed. Because in school, you are not taught this. So Web3 education is paramount for the new generation. And that is why we are putting ourselves to be able to help young people to get out of the matrix. And when they get out of the matrix, you see that this part of education, the blockchain education, is the best kind of education anyone can have. And also, like we said, we are going to have courses which many persons can actually read, or maybe pay for some kind of art courses or articles. And also, content creators will have to go make research and put out their articles, share the link to their community, and also even videos like this. Probably you'll be uploading this video to your YouTube channel. You can actually upload this video on the Brains DAO channel or platform, and people can actually view them. You can actually make money from that, from the number of views, and also talking about Brains DAO and many other things. So these are ways we are going to onboard content creators, even like you, who are actually working to make many young persons to get out of the matrix. That is why me and you are here, because we are going to talk about the innovations of blockchain, because we are not going to talk about what traditional finance are doing. Because if you look at what the traditional finance are doing, they keep repeating, they're in a cycle, and if you don't leave the metrics, you won't understand what these guys are doing, because they are not there to make us happy. They are not there to improve our life. But when you come to Web3, I bet you the day you understand blockchain, that is the day your life is changed. So just like I got out of the matrix, and I believe you got out of the matrix, we want many young persons to do so. So whatever platform you can actually use to make sure that your voice is being heard and many other young persons can actually hear you, then that is how we are going to continue to build a platform for content creators and non-crypto persons to be onboarded into blockchain. So that is our focus. We want to work with content creators just like you, want to work with many other content creators. Bring your content. You could share them on YouTube, but bring your content on our platform. Share the link on a platform. Let people watch it. Let people come to Brains DAO. Then from the revenue we receive, we can actually share it with all our content creators. That way, we are going to achieve a lot by onboarding millions of people into blockchain.
Very, very fascinating, my friend. So yeah, that's some great info. I think that's fantastic that, content creators just by even uploading a link of their YouTube channel, YouTube video, they can, they can earn through your platform, just based on viewership
Yeah.
and all those sort of things. So like, okay, but do you have any is it like free for all? Anybody can come and upload anything, or of course there must be some sort of checks. There should be some checks and balances, right? I mean, because you and I both know that there's a lot of shady content out there, right? So how will you guys prevent that from happening? Especially since you and I both know that in this space there are so many scammers and so many people that are posting all sorts of weird links, and people are losing a lot of money just by clicking on them because they are not that educated. They think that this might be a link. Even some of us who have been in this space have sometimes fallen for a wrong link, right? So my question is, how will Brains DAO regulate the content that is coming onto the platform?
So it's not just going to be any content creator, and it's not going to be a content creator that just created a channel a few days ago or last month. You're supposed to have a consistency. You're supposed to be there. You're supposed to build a community first. So for example, let us use X, formerly Twitter. If you're a content creator on X, probably you should have some followers. We want to keep maybe 1,000 followers. By the time you have 1,000 followers and we go through your account, so you are going to register with us, drop your X account or any social media account you use. So we are going to go through your account. It's going to be a manual check. We are not going to leave this to AI or any machine. It's going to be a manual check. Someone has to be there. If you look at even what X is doing for verification, when you read, they tell you that for you to be verified, there have to be a manual check. Elon Musk is not giving that to the machine so that machine has its purpose. But when somebody takes the pen to go through your account and see the consistency of your work and how reliable you are, then that is how we want to operate. So we are going to have on the website for content creator you will click, then you register, you put in your details, your X account or your YouTube account. We go through your account. There is a consistency, and you have all the criteria, the number of subscribers or the number of followers. Then we can actually now accept you. And even if probably, like you said, some of the content creators might fall victim, we notice that there is a problem with your content or your video, we are immediately going to take it down. We will immediately take it down. So there is always going to be safety. We are always going to be watching what the content creators are doing. So we are going to be very careful with the kind of people we register as content creators. So that is basically what we are going to do.
Excellent. Okay, I know that's great that there's actually a real security check, before anything is posted on there. And so tell me more about, okay, why did you, so when I was reading the white paper, it says that, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it says that, Brains DAO is made to educate Africa. So why only Africa? I mean, the sort of problem lies pretty much in all of the third world, right? Like whether it's India, whether it's Pakistan, whether it's Bangladesh, whether it's even China. With China, you and I both know they're highly their population is extremely controlled, right? We've got all of Southeast Asia pretty much. So why only Africa centric? I mean, because one thing is that how will you get investors interested if you just keep it Africa centric? Or maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe I got it wrong. If you would like to clarify that.
So the truth of the fact is that's the old white paper you're reading. Like I told you, we are revamping. So Brains DAO is going to be global. Brains DAO is not going to be one particular region, but we are not going to be in America for now. America has a lot of restrictions. No, we don't want to go close to US because of a lot of laws, policies. But we are going to build for Asia, for Africans, for Europe. It's just going to be global. So the whole white paper, the whole prospect of the project was looking at a particular region, but we want to look at content creators across the whole globe and onboard them. So this, by the time, probably this week, because I was with the website developers and we're trying to work on actually putting out the website before the pre-sales comes up. So we are going to adjust that white paper. So you're going to see a different white paper with what we are talking about for the content creators and actually how we are going to work with all of them. So you're going to see what we are going to build with that, not Africa anymore. Although I'm an African, but we want to bring a lot of persons around the whole world into blockchain. So that is actually the aim of blockchain. Blockchain is not for one certain group. It's actually across anybody. So that's the idea we are now looking at. So I'm very sorry, very sorry that you read the old white paper, but we are going to have a new white paper very soon.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, because when I decided to interview you, I mean, I really liked all the content that you were posting already. And I looked into Brains DAO. I was like, hey, you know what? This looks interesting. So usually with me, I don't do paid sort of things, no paid shills, no promotions, none of that. I just want to, what I feel that people that are trying to really build something in this space, those are the type of people that I'm interested in covering, So I felt that Brains DAO was doing that, but when I read that old white paper, I was like, okay, Africa, okay, that's interesting. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but when we talk about blockchain, it, like you said, it's a global thing, right? And basically, it's supposed to bring in everybody. So I was just wondering about that. So I'm looking forward to the new white paper, man. Looking forward to reading that as well. And
yes, you will.
And so tell me, okay, now coming to the tokenomics. So you've got 100 million tokens in total, right? And will any of them be locked, or are you going to release all of them, like they're going to be available to everybody, when this whole thing is launched?
We're putting all on liquidity. We don't want to, there is supposed to be transparency. When you lock tokens, some certain of people will feel this token will be unlocked at any time. It could put fear on some investors. So we are going to unlock everything, 100 million, 100 million. So we are now having pre-sales coming. The reason why we want to have a pre-sale is we are just a startup project and we really need funding. And for us to be able to build this idea, this vision, we, the team, I am just the co-founder, I'm just the founder, I have a co-founder, and we just three main people. I'm not talking about the website developers and other developers or content writers or website our content designer, but we are just three main people who actually is having this vision, and we cannot really fund the whole project alone. So we want to have a pre-sales that we can actually generate funding, and if possible, somebody watch this can actually come contact us. So we're looking at if we can have $50,000 to $100,000, which we can actually raise, or probably we should have at least $20,000 before we now launch the whole token. So that is our prospect. So we don't want to have any reserve. We don't want to have a team token. We don't want to have whatsoever. So if there is any investor that wants to partner with us and also wants exposure to the tokens, we just buy directly from the market, and that's how we're going to do it. So that's what we are looking at, because we just want to be transparent. As it's 100 million token, it's not even a lot of token. It's not a billions or trillions of token. This is just 100 million. And this 100 million token has what we call the auto bond. So there is 1% in transaction for either you're buying or selling, and that 1% is sent directly to the bond address, which makes the token to be very deflationary. So if there is a lot of transaction going on that contract, I tell you, in the next 1 year, we probably should be having between, call it 60 million tokens actually left. So it's actually a token that should interest a lot of persons to actually want to hold on to that token. And also holders of the token will have 1% of what we call the holders reward. So for persons buying and selling, there is some amount of token that will be sent to the holders. And of course, if you are having, for example, if you have 100 of those tokens, people are buying and selling, maybe after 2 days, 3 days, you might be having 102, 105, 110 without you doing anything because you are a holder. So that features is what we are also adding to the token for many persons to have the benefit of holding and receiving revenue, and also from the transactions that are going on. So we are going to have a transaction, not just a transaction fee, but the sharing revenue from the transactions that are going on is what we want to share for all our content creators on the platform. So it's going to be very interesting. The only thing that is a challenge right now is having funding. Funding is really our challenge right now. And honestly speaking with you, if we should get the funding, I bet you we're going to have the most beautiful platform you've ever seen, which is going to onboard content creators and also to push blockchain adoption.
Okay, well, I'm wishing you the very best for that, my friend. I really, you know, this is exactly why I brought you here. You know, I want more people to see this. You know, when this comes out this week, and you know, I want, you know, even you know, people in the Twitterverse, people in, you know, that we know, you know, to see this, you know, to pique some more interest into a project like this, because obviously, you know, from what I can see, you come from a sincere place. But I want to clarify one more thing regarding you know, the pre-sale, and you know, regarding the raising for, you know, Brains DAO. You said there are not going to be any team tokens or any of those things. So how will you raise money from the pre-sales for, you know, for your initial startup? How is that going to work?
Okay, so 100 million token is what we have. And we're planning that we are going to put out at least 10%. 10% of 100 million is 10 million. So if we put out 10 million token for pre-sales, and if we can actually raise at least 20 or $30,000, we are fine. We like I told my teammates, I told them, I don't want any team token. We shouldn't have team token. Since it's an EduFi platform, we are here to help. We are here to onboard. So basically, if any one of you or any person wants to have the token, go to Uniswap or to QuickSwap, because we are on a Polygon, then go buy for yourself. Then the only thing that you are going to benefit from this platform is going to be the sharing revenue. So if like one of my co-founders is a content creator herself, so make content for the project, and every month the sharing revenue comes, everybody benefits from that. But if it's for the token, no. So at least 10% of that 10 million will be out for pre-sales. Then if we are able to achieve our M, then we're fine. I know people raise up to $1 million. I cannot dream too much, you know, I can't dream too much. But if I have somebody come to me and tell me, okay, Yudi, I see what you are building, but we have $1 million for you to build a project, then we can actually work with such an investor. But for now, we're going to work with our M, we'll work with what we can actually reach. So our target has always been $100,000 and 50,000, and we're actually very okay with that. But 10% of the total supply is going to be what we put out for pre-sale. The rest of the 90% goes into launch.
Perfect. No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, yeah, speaking of raising $1 million, I mean, I genuinely hope you guys can, because the funny thing about Web3 right now is that serious projects are looking for money, and then you see meme coins, you know, hitting multi-million-dollar market caps. So, you know, how do you feel about that?
bro, it always as if it's a knife that goes straight into my heart. You see genuine builders looking for money to scale their development. I really don't know how Web3 works. It blows my mind. And I'm here. Most people use NFT pictures. I don't use NFT pictures. I use my face. I put on videos all the time. I'm accessible, you know. But you see a project, you don't even know who is the owner of the project. You don't even know how this project come about, and millions in there. But genuine builders are actually here begging, you know. Sometimes I really don't know how Web3 works, how crazy this place works. But honestly speaking, I'm actually very open for anyone who brings out the idea and say, okay, let us work together. I'm actually very open to that that conversation. So honestly, Web3 is actually a very crazy place, but it's actually an interesting place. I know that we have genuine people who are actually looking for genuine projects for them to actually invest and see how things go. So probably if we are fortunate, we could fall into a hand of good investor who can actually love our idea, love our vision, and can actually invest into us. I'm very, very hopeful we will get something like that.
I really hope so as well, for sure, you know. And have you guys, I mean, I'm sure you know you don't want to, you know, spill any details right now because probably it's not confirmed, but are you guys in talks with some of these potential people that you know, that could really, you know, help in, you know, completing the vision that you have envisioned?
Well, yeah, last week I tried filling some form on Polygon VC stuff, yet to get a feedback from them. Although I got an email of confirmation that they've seen my what I filled on their platform. There are some VCs kind of sometimes what I come to understand that a project will say that they are VC, but they are not actually a VC. They are actually a platform that gathers projects around. They then are the ones looking for an actual VC. But initially they said they are VC. So that is I've had a lot of them. I have like 3 or 4 of them that I've been in talks with them. They said, okay, we are actually a platform that gathers startups, and we are going to look for VCs to connect youth with them. I've had all of that. I've had all of that. And I would not stop working with many of them, but I would have loved to have a direct contact with a person who will take 30, take 50, take $100,000 and actually let us see what you can actually do. That way, you see that you're working with somebody directly, and the person sees the progress, and also you give them updates and feedbacks. That for me is a much better route than going through different people, different agencies for you to get to a particular person. It's actually very difficult. And I know that liquidity is actually scarce right now, but I know that things are also moving around. So hopefully to get to our turn.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Which brings me to my next question regarding the token again. So we know that there's a revenue share. Number one, have you guys figured out what kind of percentage holders will be getting in terms of the revenue share? Has that been worked upon, or is that still being worked upon at the moment? And number two, what other utilities are you guys building for this token?
Oh, so the revenue sharing is into 2 major parts. The revenue sharing is for the holders. So holders get 1% from all transactions, and it doesn't matter if you're holding one token or if you're holding 1 million token. You are a holder, you are a holder. So for a fact that you are holding the token, so you get a 1%. So that's that part. And the other part of the revenue sharing is for the content creators. So whereby the 1% from the transaction tax. So for people who are buying or selling, so there is going to be a small amount of tax that is going to be sent to a particular wallet, which will be converted to Matic. So at the end of the month, whatever we get from the transaction tax is what we use as revenue sharing for the content creators. That particular revenue sharing has nothing to do with the holders, because holders are already getting 1% from holding the token from all the transactions that are going on the contract. So that is that part, and the other one is for the content creators.
Okay, and this 1% is what, monthly or is it 1% monthly that the holders are getting, or is it like daily? Of course, it can be daily, obviously.
Daily. Per transaction, it's actually occurring as the transactions are going on. So that's how it is.
Okay, makes sense. And what other utilities are you guys building for Brains DAO besides this, for the token?
Okay, so for the tokens, we are actually going to build. I mentioned that earlier, where courses can actually be bought with our tokens. That is going to be later part of the phase of scaling, where you visit the website, you can actually see some courses. You can actually load your wallet and get some points for you to be able to buy a certain course for you to read, or some kind of articles. So we are going to build that as we go forward into the tokens. And also we are going to have NFT coming up later part of the project. No, we cannot build everything at the same time. It's going to be too much on us. Like I said, we are just a little team. So we'll take one thing at a time. So the first thing is the pre-sales. After the pre-sales, if we raise a good amount of money for us to launch, we now launch the project. Then we now have the content creators being onboarded, registering. And so if we should be able to have at least 20, 30 content creators. We start with them. Then we now have the courses, the ability for people to buy courses on a platform. Then we now look at the NFTs, reward of the NFTs to the holders of the tokens, and continue to add more features. We are supposed to also have, if you look at my platform, my personal platform, I talk about news. I put out current news, things happening on the crypto space. So Brains DAO as a whole should be able to do that, whereby the platform can actually be updating you automatically into your email, or we should supposed to build our own application that automatically notifications on your phone should tell you, oh, Michael Saylor has bought 100,000 Bitcoin, because Michael Saylor will continue to buy Bitcoin. So Michael Saylor has bought 100,000 Bitcoin, or Bitcoin has gone down 10%, or whatever news going on in the crypto market. So which we are going to build applications, and whatever happens with the content creators on the website is supposed to be on the app. I was supposed to send you my how do we call this? Forgotten the name. There's something I was supposed to send you. Maybe you go read through it, and what we actually building in more like our roadmap. So you see all of that. So even mobile application is part of what we intend to build too. So that is also part of it. We'll also be having conferences, hackathons, and things like that. One of those ways we can continue to onboard many persons. So there is a lot that can be built on EduFi. And EduFi covers all sectors: GameFi, NFT, SocialFi, because that is all that is going on. So we are going to cover a lot. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with the idea. Honestly, I'm overwhelmed with the idea, but still, it takes time to build all of these. We are starting. We are on the progress of actually achieving it. So it's actually one thing at a time. So we are building it. So let us release the pre-sales. Hopefully, we put it out. The pre-sales is actually one-on-one pre-sale. You're gonna see how it's going to be done. so that we will not be able to have too much, one person actually buying so much. So there's going to be a limit. This is the least you can buy, and this is the maximum you can actually buy. It's going to be a way that you interact with us while you are buying the pre-sales. That's why we put it out there. It's going to be a one-on-one pre-sales. It's going to be a very beautiful way we are going to go around it, and before we now launch the whole token. So that's our plan.
Excellent, excellent. And before I talk about the pre-sale further, one more thing that I wanted to ask you regarding the platform is that, are you just going to be focusing on Web3 courses, or would you also welcome, courses from the Web2 world, like, in different subjects like arts and painting and, creative subjects and stuff like that, like music and or whatever it is? Would that also be there, writing courses? Also, will that also be there, or is it just going to be focused on Web3 and crypto and blockchain based courses?
As far as finance and the tech world is involved, we are going to cover all of that. We already partner with a project called GOA. So GOA has a radio, it's a music platform. So we are going to, we are already collaborating with them that we can have a music platform collaborating with us, even on our website. So you could actually come to our website. I don't want to reveal so much for you, but if we build the app, there's gonna be a way that you can actually come to the app, visit the GUA, maybe one part of the section, and you play music, and you'll be listening to that music, and you'll be earning too from our application. So there are a lot we can actually build, a lot. We also be having quizzes, you can actually go through quizzes. Sometimes if you are bored, you could also actually have some light games. All that can be built. It's going to encompass a lot, even more from Web3 to Web2, because Web2 is not over. Web2, people still build Web2. People are still attached to Web2. And Web3 can actually work along with Web2. So that way we have a lot that we can build. So we are going to bring Web2 into it, talking about tech, talking about finance, and many other things that is going on in the other side of the world, not just Web3.
Fascinating, fascinating. The update that you just gave me about, eventually being able to hear something and earn from that. So that's like listening to earn. That's going to be like a new sort of a trend as well. So yeah, it seems like you guys have a lot of, it seems like a very long roadmap, a very, in-depth sort of a, Brains DAO is a big project, it seems to me. And I think that, you guys have some really, really interesting stuff happening. I'd love to read the new white paper. And now coming to the pre-sale, when exactly is the pre-sale? Do you want to talk about that, and exactly how can people enter into that pre-sale if they're interested?
So pre-sales probably should be coming out ending of this month. This week we are supposed to look at finalizing the website, because if you visit our website, it's a previous website, and we want to change that. Like we talked about, we are going global, so we want to change that. We want to have a much better website. So by the time our website is done and ready, pre-sales is supposed to be, because you're not going to come to our website. That is where you need to get the link to the pre-sales. So today is 14th of January. Probably by the end of this month, we'll make an announcement for pre-sales. Hopefully, by God on our side, pre-sales is supposed to be up and running by the end of this month. So we want to take time to build this. We don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to rush. There is no reason for us to rush on it, because it's something you're supposed to take time. It's not something that is a scam. It's only things that are scamped. It's actually everybody's rushing to make. So it's actually a project we want to take time to build. Our life is on this. I am so emotionally attached to this project. Honestly, sometimes I sleep and I'm thinking about the project. So I want to take time. I don't want to make mistakes. I don't want to make errors that will actually, oh, we would have done this better. So let us be done with the website. As soon as the website is done, then we are now going to face the pre-sales.
Also, in terms of token distribution, do you guys have plans to, make Brains DAO? I mean, I know you said you talked about Ethereum and Matic, but could we see Brains DAO on other chains in the future? We've got some interesting new chains coming up as well. Like things like SEI, right? And we've got all those sort of newer blockchains, and even I would say things like Lithium, which are like layer twos of Bitcoin and things like that. Like, do you guys have plans to transition over there as well?
The future is big, and the future will accommodate everyone. Many of my friends, we know we have a lot of community members there. That a lot of people were like, why not Solana? Why not Solana? Why not Solana? I was like, calm down. Why not Solana? I know Solana is a very crazy place out there. We have a lot of people who are actually interested. I have a lot of them. A lot of them were telling me, why Polygon? Why are you on Polygon? I told them, Polygon is actually easy. Polygon is actually beautiful, easy to onboard people into Polygon. So, but we are looking at Solana, maybe the next, then we now look at many other chains. So there's a possibility that we continue to look at any progressive chain we can actually move into. The future is on multi-chain. That's the truth. So we will look into other chains as we grow.
Excellent. Yeah. I hear a lot about Solana, and I think, what I'm about to say next, I might get a lot of heat for this. I think people are not going to be happy with what I have to say, but I'm not, I don't know if I should say it, man, or if I shouldn't say it. Or maybe I should say it.
You don't say it.
Well, my biggest problem with Solana is not the tech, it's not the blockchain, it's not everything. I think it's great. My biggest problem with Solana is those VCs that are sitting behind and that are controlling a lot of things. I don't know if you've noticed the level of pumps and dumps that are happening on Solana. Like you've got guys like Shamat, Shamat Palafadia, whatever his name is. That, have you seen that Indian American guy? Who has a lot of share of Solana tokens, and he happily admits, to hyping up Solana and Solana-based projects and then dumping on people when they get into those projects, and he laughs about it, with his billionaire friends. So that's my main problem with Solana. I'm not, when it comes to the tech, when it comes to Solana itself as a chain, I think it's a very promising chain, but it needs to really, really clean up this whole mess of, these billionaires that are trying to manipulate prices. I know that price manipulation is a big thing in crypto, and I think we're going to have a lot more of that now, especially with all these institutions, legitimizing their presence. They've been here, I don't know if most, and I think you might agree with me, a lot of people don't think that, that ETF approval has brought in institutions. The institutions have been in this space for some time already, and they have been manipulating the prices all the damn time. They've been playing with, with the emotions of the retail, buyers. And those who don't get emotional, who hold on to their solid projects, who don't panic sell, they're the ones that succeed. Now they're just out in the open. So for me, Solana is a very good example. And actually on my Patreon, I gave a project on Solana, and I showed that just look at this. It was this much. It did like 30x in like one day, like this, and then immediately it went down back to like $1 or something, or it was a 14x or whatever it was. But it was like a huge jump and then a huge dump. And I was like, this is exactly the type of behavior that I cannot endorse or I cannot support. And that's not the fault of the chain. This is that unfortunately there were too many founders tokens or too many VC tokens that were distributed. And I think there's a lot of manipulation going on. So that's why I think you've made an excellent choice when it comes to launching on Polygon, because at least on Polygon this sort of stuff doesn't happen.
It's actually Polygon is actually, if you're not genuine, you shouldn't be coming to Polygon. because Polygon is a chain for builders. That's why you see a lot of Solana guys telling you Polygon is everything is slow. I have guys last week coming to tell me that Polygon is slow. You know, slow in the sense that it's not the transaction speed or the blockchain itself. They tell you that project takes time on Polygon, so they're looking for something that pumps very fast, something that, but you won't get that on Polygon. So what you're saying is actually very true about Solana ecosystem. So Polygon has always been my dream for me to come into Polygon. And I hope that Polygon is going to actualize our dream. And I see that you really love Polygon, and I do hope you're going to support us and also be part of our pre-sales.
I'd love to, man. I'm just looking for a few more X's on my portfolio. And of course, man, I would love to, like I've always said, I like supporting people that are really working in this space. And of course, I hope that anybody who's a fan of Solana who's watching this, no hate, guys. I love Solana, but there's just a huge problem with the VCs there. They're just really messing it up for people, because if you're a builder, for example, right? Let's say you launch and these people, they hype up your project and then they dump it. That's just going to make things really look bad for you, because you're the one that's going to get all the heat, right? Not anybody else. So it's a big problem, especially for somebody who's new. So I think it's a great step that you're starting on Matic. And if people want to talk about scalability and speed, well, you've got Say now. How about that? Say is way faster than any of these chains at the moment. So why not there, right? But again, no hate for Solana. I love the project. In fact, I called it when nobody was calling it, man. Like back when I didn't build my Patreon, when it came out, and I said this thing is gonna go to at least $200, and that was when it was $1, and everybody was laughing at me. I was like, trust me, it's gonna happen, because right now there's a huge war going on between speed, scalability, and all these things. There's a war going on. That was the biggest narrative of DeFi in the last bull run, and everybody was trying to be faster than everybody else. And that's really what happened. Solana did pump to those type of levels. So I called it super early, and I liked it. But when this time people were asking me about Solana, I said that, listen, nothing against the chain, but this is what I have a problem with, and I'm not gonna, and I'm not saying that the price is not gonna go up. I'm not saying that it's not gonna pump. I'm not not saying any of that. I believe Solana is gonna go to really good price points, in the bull market. I mean, we're already in a bull market at the moment. Most people don't realize this, but we are. At the peak of the bull market, we'll see some good numbers for Solana again. But I think we've already talked about the problems that already exist there.
I really do think Solana could go up to $500. I'm not part of those JITs that say Solana is going to go to $1,000. Maybe it will, but not in this cycle. The last all-time high for Solana was roughly 200 and something. For me, I believe it's going to double that. Maybe 400, maybe 500.
Yeah, I have a number. I have like 450, 460, $460.
But when you come to Twitter, you see people saying Solana is going to go to $1,000. Can you times $1,000 with the supply? Do you know how much market cap is going to be? So I do really believe maybe $400, $500 will be the height of Solana. So it's going to do well. Matic, I love Matic. I really want Matic to go $5, $10. Matic has been doing sideways. I think the next hype will be Polygon. The next hype is going to be.
Yeah. And of course, people have to remember that, every cycle has, new coins. I mean, if you're looking for those 50Xs, 100Xs, you have to look at the newer chains as well. You can't discount that, because that's where most of the speculation is going to take place. So, people that, are saying $1,000 Solana, I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's not possible. I just find it very hard to believe that it's going to happen in this cycle. And if it does happen, great. I'll be happy for every Solana investor out there. But I feel that, Say and things like that. They have a lot of X's now, that could be coming into them. And because the blockchain space, it keeps innovating, it keeps evolving. There are newer chains coming out, newer things coming out, and most people that are in this space, besides the builders, are here to make money, right? So they're obviously going to, try to find things that could make them the most amount of money, right? You've got the type of investors that just are happy with their Bitcoin and their Ethereum and a couple of more coins, and they're happy with that, and they're okay with their 20x's. But there are guys that want to change their lives. There are guys that want to make 100x's, 1000x's, 500x, 300x, and that's just once something is at market caps where Solana is right now, unless you already have a lot of money, I don't think it's gonna, you're not really gonna become a millionaire by holding 100 Solana, right? I don't think it's gonna happen like that. So, I mean, at least that's just that. I mean, not at least in this bull run. Maybe after the, maybe in the next 5 years, maybe, but who knows what the dynamic would be at that time.
Nobody knows. The people, I call them the market makers. I call them the hedge funds, because they discuss among themselves what they're going to pump, the ecosystem they want to pump. And Solana is the one that they choose this year, this cycle. Solana has done incredibly well in the past 1 year. You look at the numbers. So these guys have really pumped Solana, and who knows the next chain they are going. I think Solana and Avalanche are the two coins in the top 10 that has really done well. So who knows the next ecosystem? Is it Polygon, or is it probably going to be the Polkadot? I really don't know, but I'm seeing the sign in Polygon. I'm really seeing what is going to come for Polygon. I'm excited for what Polygon is building and the builders around. So let's just continue to have the patience. It's only people who are gamblers and also scammers are looking for what's going to go in 1 day, in 2 days. But for us who are actually building, we want to see things progress in a healthy way. So that way, I'm very patient with Polygon.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, my friend. As they say, if it goes up really quickly, it's going to come down really quickly as well. So a natural organic growth is a much better prospect than, something that is, just a pump and then a dump, right? And, I mean, there are other chains. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of Metis. Metis is another one that has been gaining a lot of, growth. That was actually one of my picks from the previous bull run. I bought Metis when it was at $3, man, and I sold it at $300. That's when I got into Metis at that time. And the interesting thing is, do you know that chain? A lot of people are sleeping on it right now, but that chain, the founder of Metis is Vitalik's mother. That's the most interesting thing. Vitalik Buterin's mother is the founder of Metis. Yeah. So yep. So, so it came down significantly. I remember, when the bear market took place, from $300, it went, I think, I don't remember exactly, but it definitely went like more than 10x down, right? I think it went to like 14 or $10, but now it's back to 100, So what's going to happen in the bull market should be very interesting. There's also Mantle. I think I made a post on that. Mantle, they have gained a TVL of 153 million, in the last 2-3 months. So they're another chain. There's so much interesting stuff going on in this space. So, for me, it's all about innovation and where the money is going, rather than becoming a fanboy to a certain particular chain. It's just, for me, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, definitely one thing that we can agree on is for sure. I mean, we agree on most things, but definitely I agree that Matic definitely has a future, and I'm really looking forward to all the developments in Brains DAO. Before I end this, would you like to say anything else to our viewers, man?
Okay. First of all, for me, I want to say that I'm actually very grateful for you giving me the platform for me to talk about Brains DAO. And also, I'm also using this opportunity to invite people who love to support startup project, people who love to support builders from very humble backgrounds who actually wants to build for the betterment of blockchain, which Brains DAO is coming from. So we have a pre-sales coming, and I do hope maybe when you post this video, you probably will put the Twitter link of Brains DAO. So hopefully people can actually follow us and see what we are building. And also, because we need funding, the pre-sale is going to be open for everyone to participate. And also, it's also a revenue for many persons to actually support us and also be part of that pre-sales. And even after the pre-sales, we will have other features coming up. So content creators will be onboarded and many other things will come up. So we really do, I personally, on behalf of other of my members, I do believe that the general public will actually support us and be part of this amazing journey we want to embark on, and also be there to cheer us up and be part of the bigger future of blockchain. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for me to be here to talk about this. And I do hope that you and I will continue to build and also have the connection in terms of the blockchain. And I want to be back here, honestly. Maybe after we launch the project, we want to be back here so that we can assure the audience that the thing we talked about, it has successfully taken place, and also talk about more things going on in this space. Maybe by that time, Bitcoin halving will take place. We did not even talk about Bitcoin halving. So hopefully Bitcoin halving is another event coming. So we want to look at the successful Bitcoin halving, the future of Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin is successful, the whole of the market is also successful. So we're going to talk about that hopefully when I come back on this platform. Thank you very much, my brother. I really do appreciate it. So let's look forward to the pre-sales.
Absolutely, and guys, I hope this has been an educational video for all of you. UD has shared some great insight. There's a huge potential for Brains DAO. There's a huge future for education-fi, as I say, or EduFi, EduFi. There's a huge future for that. And we'll definitely, I would love to have you again on the channel, man, once you guys launch properly. Maybe next time, you can, whatever you guys are building, you might want to share, we can do like a screen share, and you can show me, all the things that, you guys are up to. And, we can definitely have another update, man. So it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. So guys, this is me, the DeFi Enthusiast, signing out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Support Web3, support real builders, and I'm wishing you all the very best, my friend. Take care.